I was bullied as a kid, and I thought I was bullied because I didn't look like the girls you saw on television or in magazines. And so the best way for me to change that would be to become part of the media and then change where the spotlight landed. My first job out of college was writing for a business-to-business publication, and I was covering promotional products. So I was writing about pens and t-shirts. And thank you, that is what it felt like. So right before I turned 30, I made the decision that I had to figure out once and for all what I was really supposed to do. And that question, what am I supposed to do with my life, became my quest. And I went down this rabbit hole for about 2 years. When I emerged, I launched what is now known as Severson and Sisters, a national nonprofit headquartered here. And we teach girls how to be better friends to other girls. So I became that person that I always wanted to be. We launched a program called Supergirl. It does teach girls tools on self-respect, acceptance, self-love, healthy communication, because girls today don't know how to communicate without technology. We give them tools on how to understand what to do if they're bullied or peer pressured. And it took off. It caught on fire. That's when storytelling really came full circle for me. I went from being someone who wrote the story to someone who pitched the story to someone who was the story. Here's storytelling tip number 1 for you. Storytelling isn't just about your products and services. It's not just about your why. You can tell your why. People will ask about your why. But when you're done talking about your products and your services and why you do what you do, they're going to want more. Storytelling is about your soul. And that can be super scary to step into. But it is. When you share authentically and you share soulfully and you share from a place of love, the universe is going to open up for you and things are just going to start to show up. Storytelling tip number 2, the scarier the story it is for you to step into, the bigger the impact. In the fall of 2014, I get accepted into this international network of women writers. You have to be accepted into it. It's a pretty big deal. And it just sort of happened. And the very first person I meet is the senior living editor with the Huffington Post. There's my aspiring author. She's going to ask you, what are you working on? And you've got one shot to pitch her. And before I knew what I was doing, I told her I was a recovered burnout and I wanted to write about burnout. And I remember sitting in my chair, it was actually my mom's house, sitting in the chair and I was looking at the computer screen, not remembering I had just sent this email out. And gratefully, a response came in instantly and she's like, Ariana Huffington is a recovered burnout. You should write about this. Oh my gosh. The idea of stepping into my burnout and sharing my burnout experience with this community was something I was really not ready to do at first. So I spent a couple of weeks really kind of getting it used to the concept. And in October of 2014, that story was published. Storytelling tip number 3. The most important part of any publication, online or in print, is called the masthead. The masthead is the list of credentials. So when you're in the grocery store line, don't read the magazine. Memorize the masthead. Create a relationship with the person in charge of the department you want to get involved in. Follow them on Twitter. They are an author. Like them on Facebook. And here's another tip. The masthead is the list of credentials in the front of the magazine. Everyone's email is pretty much the same format. So if you can figure out one email, you've got the whole thing. You never know how one story is going to impact your life. And all you have to do is find the courage to share it soulfully on a massive platform, because it exists forever. So a couple weeks later, the most vulnerable thing I've ever written in my entire life is out there for the world to see. And the response was really, just empowering, right? I'm actually on a plane back to Phoenix when the thing goes live. I tapped the woman next to me and I was like, I was just going to say, can you take a picture of me, please? And so here's what I love the most about that whole experience. I wanted to write for a magazine like that since I was 22. And it took me stepping into the most important story of my entire life, my femininity, to get me there. One bad date got me in Redbook. So thank you very much to that guy.